Yes, I asked. Let them know. Good. All right. And we are recording now officially. Excellent. And if I can just, there's Julia, get her. All right. Success. Success. So, as I mentioned, most everyone here I have had some interaction with. Um, as the director of graduate enrollment, I will be helping you all with registration for your courses, and really helping most of you with anything outside of academics, anything outside of the classroom. So my big spiel that I want to start everybody off with, we're going to do some introductions. And what I want to say to you is, please, as a distance student, please, never hesitate to reach out if you need help. Please start with me all the time. My thought process is here that if you start with me as your resource or your point of contact, one of two things is going to happen. Either I'm going to know the answer and we're going to solve a problem for you or figure out a best case solution, or two, I'm going to know exactly where to send you for the answer. Right. And so it ends up being two emails or two phone calls at the most. And that's one of the things that we feel pretty proud of about our programs here at Montana Tech. We are a smaller institution. These programs are smaller, and it gives us the ability to really, in an ideal world, assist and support you all in the direction that you need to go in a way that a big institution wouldn't. So that is my spiel. Why don't I start with Terry? Is it all right if I start with you to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you and your role?
Sure, yeah. My name is Terry Spear, and I'm the program manager for the Professional Track MS Industrial Hygiene program. And I basically was a professor for 29 years at Montana Tech, and then I retired and took over this program manager job. My main role is to keep track of all of the professional track students from the time that they are admitted all the way through the program. I handle all your program forms. That's where we keep track of your course, your academic plan, and then we have to have that submitted after a certain number of credits. And then I handle all your application for degrees. Oh, and then probably the biggest thing is when you register for classes each semester, you will basically go through me to register, and then Jesse and I work together to get everybody registered for the classes in the professional track program. So just kind of get used to that. I'm always available, so you can contact me anytime, whether for registration or anything else. And I'm happy to help you in any way I can and answer your questions.
Thanks, Terry. And I want to clarify with everybody too. So, as Terry mentioned, he is the program manager for the Industrial Hygiene Professional Track program. So, those of you in that major are going to go through Terry on that one. We're not used to having a number of other majors, believe it or not, in this orientation. So, this year we have a number of certificates. Folks that are pursuing certificates in this orientation, as well as our MPEM program, our Masters of Project Engineering Management. So those of you in the certificates, we have Dave here that's going to talk and speak a little bit to your programs. And those of you that are in the MPEM program, I am going to act as a filler for Dave Rathgeber, who is currently at the football game this evening. Dave Gilkey, would you want to take a minute to introduce yourself real fast?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, I'm afraid my camera's got a little short cords. I couldn't get it back in the right location. But anyway, it's good. This is me anyway up from the upshot. But I'm a professor in safety, health, industrial hygiene. I work with Terry. So I'm teaching this semester epidemiology. I have a few of you in that course. I teach ergonomics. I also teach advanced environmental health and biological site safety, and I teach other courses within the department. I came to Tech after retirement. I failed at retirement from a prior university and then came here in 2018 and just been having a ball since. So good to see people. It's great to see people online and get to know them a little bit. Then when we finally get you here for for a summer lab. We get to meet you face to face, and so I really appreciate that. But look forward to seeing everybody out there online. And anyway, welcome to Tech and welcome to the IH program.
Thank you, Dave. Dave Hutchins, would you like to take a minute to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your role?
Sure, yeah. I guess we had a lot of Daves in the distance learning. So I'm Dave Hutchins. I'm the director of our emerging graduate initiatives, which means that I'm a project manager on these micro credentials and extractive technologies, these certificates that we are developing. They're brand new. We have 3 launching right now: our mineral deposits exploration, mining engineering, and extractive metallurgy. And then we have 4 more coming next year. But excited to be launching these. I am just wrangling all the teams of instructors and subject matter experts and instructional designers that are putting these together. But yeah, here to help with anything, any questions you might have about those certificates. And yeah, my background's in material science and environmental engineering, and really excited to be part of this. Thanks.
Thanks, Dave. Now, I'd like to kick it over to Katie. Katie, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your role in the grad school?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Katie Haler. We just recently stepped into the role as Dean of the Graduate School. So I am the Dean of over all of our various graduate programs, the face-to-face programs, as well as these online or distance programs. So I just want to welcome you to Montana Tech and congratulate you for finding really wonderful opportunities with our institution. So I'm here as a resource as well, but as Jesse said, with questions, start with him first. Sometimes Jesse and I are working on things in the background. He is your first point of contact, but I am here and available if something ever comes up that I need to meet with a student or if a situation ever arises. So just to put a face with a name, nice to meet you all virtually, and good luck with the coming academic year.
Thanks, Katie. And Katie might sign off with us there, so it's great to have the dean come and be a part of this for just a moment. So thank you for your time this evening, Katie. And with that, so I mentioned that Dave Rathgeber is the department head of the Masters of Project and Engineering Management major. He cannot be with us tonight. But what I would say is that so Dave is new to the program. He just became department head this coming fall. This just started last Monday. He had been an instructor here for a number of years. And what I want to segue into a little bit is we've discussed a little bit about registration. So for those of you that are in the MPEM program, you'll be working directly with Dave Rathgeber determining classes. So if you covered your admit letter and read through the details of that, basically what it asks you to do is to start with your advisor, right? So you start with your advisor. If you're in the industrial hygiene professional track program, that's where Terry had mentioned you start with him. And as we move into and further down the degree paths that everybody is on, the advising is done by either your advisor or the program manager. And once those courses are determined, then those are forwarded to myself in order to get everybody registered, is how that works. At this point, after this semester, everybody will be what we call a continuing student, right? So there's 2 kinds of students. There's a new student and a continuing student. And that's important because when it comes time for registration, continuing students have the opportunity to register an entire month before new students do, right? So the idea is that you all can get to those classes when you need to. Now, the good news is for us here in the graduate school, we don't usually find that students are put on a wait list or are unable to grab courses based on the capacity and the size. So that is something that, but we have to work with that periodically to adjust those numbers and make sure that everybody gets into the course that they want. Those of you that are in the certificates, so that is a similar process, but the good news is for you all that those courses are pretty well mapped out. So you'll be in 4, I believe. Does that sound right, Dave Hutchins? 4 of them, 3 of them, 3 of them, and a comp. Right, 3 of them in a comp, and those will be mapped out fall to spring to summer, I believe. So it's a one-track situation, and so when the time comes to register for courses, you're going to want to have either your advisor or yourself reach out to Dave Hutchins or I to be scheduled for the next course for that certificate. And it's almost, it's walking right into the next piece of the degree path for you all at that point. Looks like I got another one here. Ooh, maybe Colin got kicked out there for a minute. Terry, any thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on that? Am I explaining all that correctly?
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, in terms of the professional track industrial hygiene program, the program requires the completion of 37 credits for the degree. And, we don't basically control how you register for courses. In other words, we don't tell you how many courses you have to take. Some students register for 1 course a semester. Most students seem to register for 2 courses per semester, which they seem able to handle as working professionals. Some students even take more than 2 credits or 2 courses per semester. So that's how that works. I mean, basically the program can be completed in approximately 2 years if you took 2 courses each semester. So that would be spring, summer, and fall of each year. So it just depends on how you want to proceed through, what your workload is like, your family commitments, as to how you want to register for courses. I recommend don't get overloaded because these courses do take time. They're going to eat up a lot of your free time trying to get through the material. So just try not to overload yourself. The other thing I'd mention is we are a NIOSH TPG, a training grant program. So we have NIOSH scholarship money available. So after you've completed, I think 6 credits, you're eligible to apply for NIOSH scholarships on a competitive basis. So I'd recommend that you do that when you become eligible.
That's good stuff. And I would add to that. So the MPEM program is very similar. It's a 30 credit master's program. Just like the IH program, it's set up for fall, spring, summer. Most of the folks in there, working professionals, handle 2 classes, 1 or 2 classes a term. Sometimes they do a little bit more than that. So they're both of those programs are very similar. And I would also say that I'm going to take an opportunity, Terry, to just talk about not that. So being most of the folk. Oh, go ahead, Terry.
I was going to say we should mention that 6 credits in an online program is considered full-time student. Is that correct? Just for financial aid. So just keep that in mind. If you're in 6 credits. Yeah.
Yep.
Can I add just a little bit there, Jesse? Okay, yeah, I was just going to say.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, on our anticipation is that you have an additional 2 to 3 hours per credit. So I think you're going to have 6 to 9 hours over and above, each week for each course. So in terms of a time commitment, some could be a little bit more, some might be a little bit less, but that would be a good gauge of looking at how many hours you're working, how much quality time you want with your family, and so it's a sacrifice, and it's amazing. I'm always impressed with the drive that graduate students have, who are fully engaged and yet they're earning advanced degrees. So kind of kudos to all of them.
Thanks, Dave. Let's see. I got a chat from Kimberly. Hang on just a moment. I got to pull the right box up. Oh, 6 credit. I thought 9. Yes. So it's a little different. 9, Kimberly, 9 is a typical full load for an on-campus student. Montana Tech has, as an institution, it is 6 credits for a student in the distance program. So you are not off base there by any means, because a lot of the surveys and such around the states count a graduate student as 9 credits is full time.
And then Jesse, can I add, so I mentioned that our program in the professional track industrial hygiene is 37 credits. 28 of those credits are core credits. So you have to take the 28 core credits, and then you will choose from 3 elective classes or 9 credits. So we offer elective classes, spring, summer, and fall of each semester. So you can choose the types of elective classes you would like ventilation or aerosol science or noise or respiratory protection. There's different electives you can take for those 3 elective classes that you have to take. And then everyone's required to attend a lab as part of the sampling and evaluation course. So the way that works is we expect students to have completed roughly 18 to 20 credits in the program before they can register for the sampling class, which is every spring. And then when they're in the sampling spring class, they're expected to come to the campus for 1 week in June, a 5-day lab. And that's where Dave mentioned we get to meet all the online students, and it's quite an enjoyable experience. So.
Yeah, and then as far as the MPEM program goes, the MPEM program, your final project is a capstone class, I guess I want to say, where so you don't necessarily come to campus, but all your project comes together with your advisor, and you will present a project. And then the certificates. Dave, you want to speak to the practicum, kind of where we've landed at all as of late, as far as the certificates go?
Sure, yeah. And maybe about the program in general, that as Jesse said, they're pretty well mapped out. They all follow the same model, that is 9 credits of classes. So a 3-credit class, 1 class in the fall, and then 2 3-credit classes in the spring, followed by a practicum in late May or early June. That will be approximately a week too. So yeah, all pretty well mapped out. There is the potential of taking more than one of these certificates though. So if you're really feeling ambitious, think about that.
Dave, are we going to be able to stack these certificates in the future?
We are, yes.
Excellent. I was trying to bait you there a little bit. Did you want to elaborate on that at all? Or I knew the answer to that, everyone. I just wanted him to say it.
Yeah, I mean, well, each of these has its own, skill sets that go along with it, and all are very practical in the critical minerals and materials world. So you can take more than one of these certificates, stack them, and apply them towards potentially other master's degrees if that was what you're pursuing. So,
Thanks, Dave. Terry, I was also thinking, is there any way to use certificates as course credit at all in the IH program?
By certificates, you mean, well, I mean like a course in these other programs like Dave's program.
Oh, no, sorry. I was baiting you too. I'm trying to say that they can get their CSP, and I was going to see if you would talk about the CSP and the other stuff that can count as courses, unless I totally missed it and you already said it.
Oh yeah, so I don't know if anybody in this group, I don't have your files, called up for each person on the call, but yeah, for professional certifications like the certified industrial hygienist or certified safety professionals, you can waive 1 course for each of those certifications. So for the CIH, you waive the industrial hygiene 1 course. So that means you have 3 less credits to complete for the degree. And then for the certified safety professional, you waive the system safety course. And the same thing, you have 3 less credits to complete for the degree. A lot of our students I guess not a lot, but some students actually obtain their certifications as they're going through the program. And a lot of students get their certifications after they graduate from the program. So the program is a good pathway to obtain professional certification, which is a major degree milestone, or a major career milestone, I should say. So keep that in mind. And then our capstone course is not a project. The final course in our program is a comprehensive written and oral exam, which covers only the core courses in the program, the 28 core credits. So that's done at the very end of the program. You take the final written exam and then the oral exam.
Excellent. Thanks, Terry. Dave Gilkey, did you have something that you wanted to add to that, or?
No, I think Terry covered it
Okay.
well.
Okay.
You muted,
Yeah.
Jesse.
The other question I had for you, Terry, is if I had any foundational coursework, is that something I need to finish right away before I take any courses, or how does that work?
Yeah, if a student comes in with needing a foundational course, like a organic chemistry course or something like that, they can proceed through the industrial hygiene courses up until the point where they reach the registration for the comprehensive exam. So they would not be able to register for the comp exam course until they have completed all foundational courses. So just keep that in mind. I don't know how many on this call have foundational course requirements, but
Thanks, Terry. Does anybody have any questions about anything that we have covered so far? All right.
they can
Well,
type
feel
them
free
into
to. Yeah. Oh, nope. Thank you, John. Thank you, John. Next job fair. That's a good question. When is the next job fair? It is going to be September, I believe, is when the next job fair is.
September 25th is the career fair.
Nice. Okay. September 25th, Julia. September 25th.
And that's here on
Good
campus.
question. Something. My chat's getting all weird now all of a sudden. Oh, you're welcome. Okay. A couple other things I want to go over. So everyone here that is in a master's program. Oh, I got a, let's see. Can we get a copy of the mining companies attending? I believe so, right? They have everybody on the website that comes, I want to say. Does that? Let's see.
Career services would have the companies coming to the career fair.
That's right. And they, I think they post it on their website too. Is it public? It is published. Okay. Thanks, Dave. So one of the things I wanted to talk about also today was anyone that is in a master's program. So our certificate folks were not dropped in this, but our master's program folks were dropped in a quick orientation Canvas class. You may have seen the distance. I think it's distance orientation, which so in the grad school we have two folks that work with Katie, myself, and Saranda Brackett, who is the program manager for the grad school. And what she does is when she drops everyone in this orientation, there's one form that is required for you all as kind of an onboarding method, which is it's just a conflict of interest form. It all is all that it is. It takes maybe no more than 5 or 10 minutes to fill out. And it's got a marked due date of November 1st in there, but this will literally take just a few minutes for folks to do and is a requirement of the institution to be onboarded in order to pursue the program. So that's another thing that you'll see there in your Canvas courses as you begin to explore the portal and Canvas and all the other uh, um, all the other things in the portal, I think is what I'm trying to say. One of the things I also want to do today is I'm going to share my screen with everybody really fast and take a moment to, I want to make sure I find the rate. Give me just a second here and get all 6 of them, I think. Is that it? Terry, did I get it?
I see something.
Can you see the home page?
Yes.
Okay. So I really quickly, we're at the Montana Tech homepage, and I wanted to provide a resource for everyone that we've worked pretty hard on in the grad school based on some feedback that we've gotten in the past couple of years. And what this is going to apply to everybody in the orientation right now. I'm going to hover over academics here. I'm going to go to the grad school page. It's the first thing I'm going to do. Once I'm there, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to scroll down to right here where it says graduate student resources. Right. And click on that. And what this is going to take us to is what we have come to name the graduate student life cycle. And what this is this is everything that a student will need from start to finish as they start grad school at Montana Tech. So everybody is currently now enrolled in their courses. Hopefully we are settling in a little bit. We got our bills taken care of, and if our books taken care of, if they're not already on order, we're kind of getting the feel for those things. And what this entire accordion is a step-by-step of the steps needed to step into the degree. So you can see we have new student check-in. We have a number of things that we mark down for students to check off their lists, to get done, to be able to be on campus. The check-ins, that's not going to concern us as much today, but this is also an on-campus student thing that is done for our MS degrees. Now, one of the things that everyone in this orientation right now that they're going to have to do is they're going to have to create a program form, which is typically done by the second semester of school, second to the end. And those of you that are in the industrial hygiene program, Terry oversees that and and works in conjunction with Saranda and I to get those processed. Those of you in the MPEM program, that is something that Dave Rathgeber will help everybody with. So as you move through that, you will get reminders, and you're working with your advisor, you're working with Terry. One of the things we're going to do is we're going to create a program form that's submitted to your student file that's tracking the courses that you're taking. The certificates, you guys are not going to have to worry about that. However, when we get to the point when we're graduating, the next thing that everyone will have to do, the term that they graduate, is submit a graduation application. And you can see here, we have the graduation applications that are put out for the grad school. Those of you in industrial hygiene, professional track, Terry oversees the collection of these, make sure that you guys are looking good and kind of is helping you along the way. Those of you in the MPEM program, Dave is going to be assisting you in this process. And those of you that are in the certificates, it's a pretty straightforward path, but your advisor will be assisting you with that as well, right? And lastly, we come down here, and what we see is just a checklist of the different items that are required for each program. So if I come down here to the, let's see, I've got the MPEM program, Master of Project Engineering. So here is your program form, as well as the graduation application. Those are the only two things that are going to be required of you the final semester when you graduate. right? I've got my master's industrial hygiene professional track, the program form, which Terry is going to help you all submit. And that's really all you have to do outside of the graduation application, right? So a lot of this is pretty straightforward, but we do put it out on the website for folks to see it, to have access to it, and it seems to provide, it seems to be a good resource for folks to go back and forth with as they're maneuvering the program. Terry, what do you think about all that? How'd I do there?
I think it looks good, Jesse. I think that should be a big help to the students.
Good, good, good. Did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
Okay, okay. The last piece that I have is, I'll see if this clicks over. I can get it to go. Did it go? So there, no thanks. In the invite, you'll see the grad school library orientation. So if y'all would like to, we don't make this mandatory, but as you're becoming familiar with the resources in the library, as you're using any resources, this is a nice orientation video that you can see is about 5 minutes long to get you started into the library and the different resources that are offered there. One of the things, I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. One of the things I want to encourage everybody to know is student support. We want to talk a little bit about student support. I mentioned earlier we're a smaller program, and I think it gives us the ability to provide a more personable service to the students that pursue a path and pursue a degree here. If you begin to struggle, I can't emphasize enough, please reach out to your instructors. You would not believe the amount of flexibility that comes with being proactive about either struggling or the reality is they are all aware that, you know, we're looking at 2 years for most of you here to finish this program, and a lot can happen in 2 years, right? We see a lot of big life events happen with folks, some positive, some negative. Things will happen. And so we just want to encourage you today to know that the instructors are well aware of this and versed in life. Majority of people are working professionals. They're working a full-time job. My master's degree was in higher education and administration and leadership. It was a distance program. I was working a 40-hour week job. My son was born my first child was born a month after I started the program, and it was a wild time. It was a wild time, and I too was in a smaller program and received a lot of support, and the ability to connect with folks was really important. Was a really important piece of being able to maneuver that successfully, I think. So we cannot emphasize enough that it's okay. We do. It's not always, sometimes scenarios call for taking a semester off. Somebody has a baby, or somebody needs to, has a promotion or a job change. We do see that a lot. Folks take a semester off and then jump back in. I will tell you that it's a pretty seamless transition, and it's not unusual. We're always as encouraging and as flexible as we can be, and sometimes the right thing to do is just take a semester off and come back in a semester. If that were to happen to you, go ahead, Terry.
Well, I was just kind of along those same lines, Jesse. Aside from job changes, I mean, as a working professional, you may be called on an assignment where you have to be gone or somewhere for a week or 2 weeks. So if you're going to have an interruption in your normal work or study schedule, let the instructors know ahead of time, and they will work with you on that. In other words, don't just disappear for 2 weeks and then pop back on, and try to be proactive and work with the instructors, if you have these work assignments or things going on with your job.
can I add to that, just Jesse, that so again, we have military students that are in the military also, and they can be deployed at a moment's notice, and they may be in an area that doesn't have internet, for instance, and so they may be offline for a period of time. But as Jesse and Terry both said, we do everything we can to work with students. And sometimes you can be halfway through the semester and then something happens. So that doesn't mean that you're going to lose that course. So if you're communicating with that instructor, what you can apply for is an incomplete, and then you're given an extension into the next semester to finish up. So I've worked with several students, and I'm happy to say that they all come through the next semester and finish things up.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to maneuver that, isn't there, Dave? A lot of ways. And it's important. It's important to always get it on the front end, because it's very, very likely that they will find a way to help you succeed. Most certainly. Guys, we've talked a lot, and I'm curious what questions do you all have right now? What's going through your mind here on this first week of school as some of you step back into this for the first time in a long time?
That's a good way to be.
Yeah, just Kimberly said just excited. That's great. I see John turning his mic off. John, John, talk to us. What are you thinking? Okay, no
Coming in and
questions.
out a little bit with things going on, but I don't know. It's just it's kind of exciting, just like a change of pace. I guess like just kind of adjusting, going back to school and seeing like where it takes me, and I don't know. It's just it's interesting, I guess.
Good.
Yeah, that's real good. We got a lot of folks here that are being reimbursed by their company. Anybody have a benefit that their company is putting them through school, utilizing that? Yeah, it looks like I see a couple folks. Kayla, yeah. Well, I would say that it's an incredible adventure. I didn't spend a whole lot of time during the week in my distance program going to bed before 11 or 12 o'clock. So, but but it is something that I always think about this. I think about it was the best of times and it was the worst of times. My son was a few months old. From 0 to 2, I kind of watched him grow and was working on a master's degree and got to know a pretty small cohort like this one of students. I would strongly recommend that you connect with some folks in your course. Connect with these folks here. We have a directory where you can reach out and get Montana Tech emails. If you'd like to put your contact information in the chat to be contacted, by some of the other folks in here, please do that. I am going to post this on the website, but the good news is it gets locked so you have to log in with your credentials to see the video. So that information would probably still be protected if you wanted to do that. But the big thing is we just want you all to feel connected, because it is easy to get lost from such a ways away, and it's important. Right now things getting started, everything's really fresh and exciting and good, and maybe even nerve-wracking. But it's a year in. When after working an 80-hour week, and you're working on a final assignment, that sometimes that support can really, on a Wednesday evening, that support can really be something that helps you through that kind of stuff. So just gonna run through here. All of the information that we covered here this evening are in this invite in hyperlinks in the agenda that I made for you. So you can refer back to it that way. You can get to it through the website, or you can always email myself, Terry, Dave, or Dave too. I'm Stephen, good guess. That's great. Terry, any final words of wisdom or thoughts on anything?
No, we're just excited to have you all in the programs, and I think you'll get a lot out of it. And as Jesse said, don't be afraid, don't be shy to contact people, contact me, contact your instructors. Just, try to be proactive, and I think it'll go a lot better for you. And I think you'll enjoy it, and I think you'll get a lot out of it.
Dave Gilkey, any final thoughts from your end?
Oh, no, I mean, really just kind of echo the same thing that Terry said, is that one, we acknowledge that everybody is fully engaged, and this is really a heroic effort, and kudos to the folks that are willing to step out there and put out the extra energy and work hard, and then I think the outcome is good from an industrial hygiene standpoint. Almost everybody, when we get to the end of things, we ask them about how this is going to impact your career, and I can tell you that many of them are advancing in the company that they're in. They're getting raises or they have new job offers. So the return on investment is definitely worth it, and then you're in a higher income, or you have greater income potential, and really fulfillment the rest of your working career. So we're just glad you're here, and we'll do everything we can to see that you succeed.
Awesome.
Yeah, along
Dave?
with everything that Terry and Dave said, I'd say take some time here at the beginning to explore the resources that are available to you. Your instructors have office hours, use those. The library was a great example. It's really underused, and they are like standing by to help you. So get to know those resources, get to know everybody involved, and don't hesitate to reach out with any questions or anything we can do to help. And congratulations, and excited for you.
Thanks, Dave. Does before we round up here, is there anything else that is on anybody's mind at this moment? And we're not going anywhere either, so we'll be around for this whole process. Hopefully everybody has Labor Day off, and if not, good on you. We'll be thinking about you. But it's always interesting to start the fall semester with a 3-day weekend. It's just always kind of an interesting thing to, yeah. And sweet. Oh, thank you. Yes. Well, y'all, thank you everybody for making a little bit of time to connect with your cohort this evening and to connect with us. We appreciate the time, and as Dave said, this is he used the word heroic. I think that's just a great way to describe it. This was a big step. We're excited to meet you at this crossroads and walk with you through this process. So everybody have a good evening. As you think of questions, as things come up, please reach out. We are available, and we'll be ready to help you however we can. So with that, everybody have a good evening, and enjoy your Friday tomorrow.
Thanks, Jesse.
Hey, you bet. You bet. Thanks for coming tonight, Terry.